Hello, I'm Zhan Wenjun. My interviewee is Mandy Higgins. She is a TA in UK, and her major is history. This is my first time to interview, and it is a very interesting experience in my life. I interviewed her because I'm an international student, and I don't have any friends who has the experience voting. So my TA James recommended her for me. After this interview, I came up with some personal ideas. The first question is, in which election was your first time to vote?
In 2004.
2000. And how old were you during the election?
I was 19.
19? Okay. And where did you live? And
I lived here in Lexington, but I actually voted in northern Kentucky because that's where I was registered.
And how did the election play out in that?
George W. Bush won the 2004 election, and he won Kentucky, and I think he even won my district, but I did not vote for him.
Do you remember who stood?
I voted for John Kerry. He was a Democrat.
And do you remember about the issues confronting you?
Well, I was a college student, so I didn't really have any issues, but I voted for Kerry because of the Iraq War. We had just started the Iraq War, and George W. Bush was like gung-ho, and I was not.
Okay. And how did you experience those issues in your life?
I had a cousin who served in the military, and he was fine, but I didn't like the idea of the United States creating war and being a war.
What was compelling about the candidate running, and what large hope and fear did the candidate inspire?
There wasn't a lot of. John Kerry was not a very inspiring candidate. He was very, very boring. He was very boring. But he was he appeared to be more intelligent, and like he wasn't as emotional as George W. Bush, and I felt like we needed someone who was a little bit more even-handed and not as nuts.
And why does this particular election stand out in your memory?
Well, it was the first I could actually vote. Before that, I was under 18. So.
Yeah. And how did the election influence you in the future?
Well, that's interesting. It made me want to keep voting because I had lost. Like, my candidate lost, so I saw the importance of voting. And I was able to vote for Barack Obama in 2008, so I got to vote for a winner. So that was fun, even though the state didn't go to Barack. Kentucky voted Republican, voted for John McCain, but I was voting in Lexington in 2008, so my district went for Barack Obama, so that was exciting.
Yeah. And have your view changed in any ways since that election?
I think if anything, I've gotten more to the left, more liberal. For the first time in 2010, I voted straight ticket. So, yes, I guess, I've moved kind of further away from the middle.
And how do you think the election have been remembered in American history?
The 2004 election?
Yeah.
I'm a historian, so that's a good question. I think it'll be seen as kind of a bad election, that Americans made the wrong choice. Re-electing George W. Bush was really bad for the economy and bad for the world, and Yeah, I don't think it's going to be up there on like great elections.
When I asked her, "What do you remember about the issues confronting you?" her answer was the Iraq War. I was very curious why she concerned about Iraq War, because I think most college students are more concerned about education issues or economy issues. Then she gave me the answer. She said her cousin was a soldier in Iraq, so she wants to stop the war because she hopes her cousin can come back safely. Also, she said she voted to Mr. Obama in 2008 with the same reason. So I think for her, war is what she cares for and value factor when she voted. I think economy issues in 2004 and 2012 is whole different because the 2008 financial crisis caused the economy issues in 2008 and 2012. Presidential campaign managers to a very important subject. The 2012 presidential candidates are doing their best to convince people and make people feel agree with their own economy plan. So I think in 2012, Americans are more considerate of the economy. They don't want to have the war, and they don't want to spend more money on the war.